Hi, folks. Welcome in Seven Rivers Racing, KQE GTV. I'm Dan Knight. Thanks for joining us on the program. A little bit of a light racing schedule at La Crosse Speedway last weekend and a lot of dirt racing action at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. All that and Matt Henderson, always in the hunt, coming up on today's program. We're going to take it back in time. Last Saturday night's action at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. We did get some racing. It was Hornets, but the other 3/4 of the time it was a lot of smashing. And we're going to start things off right off the bat with Taylor Dobbs. Not only once, twice, but 3 times he appeared at the Speedway last weekend. That would be number 1. Only 2 times have I ever called this action at the Speedway where someone actually flipped that car all the way over. Scholesy did it a couple years ago. Taylor Dobbs said he hit it about 60 miles an hour, had his eyes closed, ducked down a little bit, but man, he nailed that. And there was parts flying all the way up into turn 1. And that kind of set the stage for our Smash-o-Rama last Saturday night. Let's get you going with a couple of monster trucks. Always a fan favorite. You have Jim Burns coming out of Rockford, Illinois. And you've got this gentleman here, Ryan Rice of Lafayette, Illinois. This was the first time he'd ever been in that truck. He just built it. That was the end result early in the night. Holy cow. That's the first time I've ever seen a monster truck do that at the La Crosse Speedway. See how the weight kind of shifted, and that was not a good tumble right there. Believe it or not, though, Ryan Rice did work in the pits. They cut half the back part of the body off, and they got him back out later in the night, though he had a broken, you can see right in the back right there, that transfer case in the back was just really busted. And he had a hard time putting on the rest of the show, but he did get back out, so we give him a lot of credit. This guy here, Jim Burns, in Mechanical Mischief, he comes out of Rockford. He's been up to the Speedway at least the past 5 or 6 years. He's had 2 different trucks, and he did a nice job of throwing the crowd, 360s on the ground, popping over tires, nose to the air. I mean, that was a thrilling show for Jim Burns. Just too bad Ryan Rice couldn't get that truck to work, but we give him a lot of credit for getting it back out there. Taylor Dobbs, again, we had our annual rollover competition. We score points for the different rolls that you have, and this was his very first roll. And that car kept going. Twice he kept driving away from that pile. A little bit too high on the ramp. That ramp took a beating, by the way. They broke it, I think, 3 times last Saturday night. How about a 4x4? Not a bad job. That was Dan Osthoff right there. Just got it to go over. Dan Osthoff and Taylor Dobbs ended up going head-to-head to the very last roll. That was John Clausen getting a piece of the ramp stuck in the front there. And Dobbs wins. He gets 13 points. Dan Osthoff thought he could have tied him right there, but it just didn't want to hang over and give him the flip. This was the last run for Taylor Dobbs. And this young man, one of our Hornet drivers, was actually a stuntman 3 times on Saturday night, and he wins the rollover competition, putting him up there with the ranks of Dakota Miller. Remember, Dakota got about 17 points here a couple of years ago. And we took Chuck Deary, the general manager of the La Crosse Speedway. We stole a swimming pool. We put it in the infield, filled it up with about 300 gallons of water. We even took his dinghies, his ducks, his ladders, and did that. That was nice. Matthew Miller, full speed. Said he got it about 35 miles an hour. Wish he could have got maybe some more speeds on that. Littered the entire infield with a couple hundreds of gallons of water, and he was pretty drenched when he got out of the car. I remember riding along with Todd Korish about 3 years ago doing that, and it's really interesting because it looks slow on that monitor, but when you're inside the car and you hit that pool, that's a heavy thud. It's like hitting a steel wall. We had 7 drivers participate in the figure 8 race with boats in tow. A couple of cars had a hard time keeping the boats on as they brought them around turn 4. But once the cars were unleashed on the front straightaway, it was a mini Smash-o-Rama. I like the station wagon that Jacinda Paff was driving in. Somebody hit her so hard that it cut a huge hole in her driver's side passenger door. And out of those 7, John Clausen had a little bit of a problem with his vehicle. Everybody else got out of the way. And Jacinda Paff ended up taking the fan vote, and it was the closest we've had. It was between her and Tyler Mitchell. We had to have 4 different fan votes to actually get to where we wanted to get a trophy, and Jacinda Paff ends up winning the boat race. The trailer T-bone crash to round out the night. It was very exciting when you talk about stunts. Taylor Dobbs came out again. He started off in turn 4, stopped off, had a word with our tech man, and then gunned it right up on the ramp, and this was the result. all the way through. And I asked him this time, I said, were you actually looking at this one? That's a good camera angle. I haven't seen that one yet. Said he had his eyes open the entire time, and just what a great job. And that Toyota took a beating. He had that thing smashed up all night long, and he just kept driving away in it. So if you're in a test market for a Toyota, you want to see what it does for a crash safety lesson, well, you can just watch that clip there over and over again. The Hornets came out, had an actual points race. We're going to show the last two of the feature. Had a 25 Hornets. That's your point leader. That would be Patrick Tickey. That guy started, he won the feature a couple of weeks ago. He had to start 24th, made up 19 positions, and finished 5th on the night. But the man that started 7th, that's retiring at the end of this year, said he wants a track championship to capitalize on a good career at lacrosse, is that man down below. That is the 29 of Nate Towner. He started 7th, weaved his way through some very fast Hornet cars. And you're going to see here in a minute, he's going to get the checkered flag dropped atop of him. Almost a four-wide battle for second place. This was a really good race. I was down to the infield calling that one and had a better perspective of what was going on rather than what I do up on the tower. So congratulations to Nate Towner. The Hornet drivers had two novelty races this past Saturday night. The second over-the-line race and the flagpole race. First time I'd ever seen a flagpole race at the Lacrosse Speedway. Brandon Lemoyne, Tom Lethe, they won the second over-the-line races. Rob Stanfield and Pat Tickey won the flagpole races. Tickey did it in huge style. Pretty much had about a half a track length between him and the rest of the crowd for the second over-the-line flagpole race. So this coming Saturday, the thrills and spills are out of the way. We've got another one coming up here. Trailer race is coming up at the end of July. Then, of course, we've got our huge EVA Destruction coming up later in the schedule. This weekend, Saturday night, late model, Sportsman, Thunderstocks, Hornets, and the all-popular Faster Pastor races will be at the Lacrosse Speedway. Check out lacrossespeedway.com for more information. Coming up next, going to check in with Matt Henderson, the number 33 late model driver, see what's on his schedule for this year, and some dirt action next on Seven Rivers Racing.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modified.
600 mods.
Pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
Over $400 in rebates available on select American Standard systems. Call Carey Heating and Air Conditioning today for a free estimate.
We are back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Rob Butterfield. I'm Dan Diker. A part of Media Day at the Lacrosse Fairgrounds Speedway as we get ready to kickstart the 2015 race season. Another great, fun summer is just around the corner at the Lacrosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Again, if you ever want information, the schedules, the kids club, whatever's going on, lacrossespeedway.com. Our next guest is a longtime friend of mine. We've gotten together and done some Christmas specials. Matter of fact, we showed you some of the Christmas special here. We did, as Matt Henderson got to drive a quick trip NASCAR late model through the streets of Lacrosse. What'd you think of that?
Well,
Number one, it was too short because you wanted to go.
Yeah, we only got to go, maybe a quarter mile, but that's just something you always dream about doing. So to actually do it was pretty cool.
Got to thank all the people that helped us out with our Christmas Henderson deal for year number 2. According to of course, the Lacrosse Police Department as well, blocking off traffic for us as we got to do that. How you been? How was the off season?
It was great. We had some time off. We took quite a few months off, actually. We didn't even touch the car, and so that was nice. Kind of get.
How did you get your dad to do that?
We kept him busy. He's got 3 kids and 4 or 5 grandkids now, so he stays pretty busy. But
and 1 in tow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that's crossing our fingers. Everything goes good this time. So, but yeah, got recharged up and eventually tore the car down, basically to bare frame, and rebuilt the whole thing. Damn near got a brand new car and brand new paint job. So we're hoping for big things.
Matt's done some teasing on Facebook
Yes,
this
he
year
has.
as he's been showing people what his new ride looks like, and he was putting different segments on social media. Nice job at getting the tease there, and then it all came about. You guys were out here at the Lacrosse Speedway, first car to shake her down, and the first thing I heard was, "Damn, it's bright."
Yeah, it's pretty bright. We joke all the time on Facebook. We tell everyone they're going to need sunglasses so you don't hurt your eyes when you look at it. But yeah, we came out the other day to shake it down. We usually come out at least once before the season, and then like today, if this would have rained out, we would have already tested. So just kind of to make sure everything's good on the car and shake it down. And we had it all the way apart, so everything was good. We had one little leak and got that fixed, so it's all stuff we want to take care of before the season gets here.
Well, I know me coming out here and taking pictures and stuff of you guys, your car is always one of my favorites to take pictures of because it's so clean and you guys do such a great job keeping it prepped. What are some of the things that you did in the off-season without giving your secrets away?
Well, we always get the motor rebuilt.
Right.
We have a new guy on our team this year who brings a lot of insight. And so, I don't know, we just tear it down. We go through all the nuts and bolts on the thing, replace clevises, repack all the bearings, all that kind of stuff. And one thing we always do is we just sit down, talk. We talk things through, we throw out our ideas, and then we make a cumulative decision on
Right.
what we want to do. So
And no surprises like 2 years ago, because I remember taping a TV segment with you during Media Day, and one of the biggest things you said that you were seeing during the off-season, you found a bend in the frame that you guys did not know you had for quite a many races. No surprises like that this year?
Well, let's hope not. We put a new stub on 2 years ago, and we didn't get in any bad wrecks last year, luckily. So we had it all the way torn apart and looked everything over, and we had the rear end out. That's all good to go. We went through the entire car. Every nut and bolt got touched in that car.
You know, one of these years we're going to have to get a camera out in Matt's garage or some of these other drivers, because some drivers, they park them, they don't pull them out of the weeds
Right.
till 2 weeks before race season. This is something that's an ongoing process, especially with our NASCAR late models. You can't do that. You just can't park it in the middle of October and pull it out of the garage in the beginning of April.
Well, we want to win, and it's not for lack of trying if we don't, because we work a lot of hours, and got to thank all our wives and my mom for letting us all work out in the shop all the time. But we do everything we can possibly do to make that car go fast, and man, I can't wait to get out there on Sunday.
Well, I know one of the things that's often used in racing is the term, the race is actually won in the shop. I mean, granted, there's a lot of things, a lot of luck, a lot of speed that has to happen out on the track, but it's really about the preparation of the cars. And you guys have done, what I've read, you guys have done a lot to that car. And I'm looking for some good things out of you this year. Where are your goals and expectations?
Well, I just want to be competitive. That's the first thing. If we can run top threes consistently, or top fives, then top threes, or just start out in top threes, that'd be fine with me. Eventually, we're going to start winning races. And ultimately, championship in the end is what we all want.
That's it.
So I know it's kind of setting our goal pretty steep with all the competition we have here, but we are determined and we are ready to go out there and kick some butt.
It's got the nickname on the car, Always in the Hunt. You've had that for about 3 or 4 years now. And not to take away from any other driver at this speedway, your family and yourself with Henderson Motorsports has to be one of the most dedicated out here.
Yeah, we can't thank all of our family members and fans and aunts and uncles that come support us enough. It takes all of us, and it just to be down in the pits and look up and see all those red T-shirts and sweatshirts, really, it's pretty dang cool.
And before we end the segment, I do want to congratulate you on your award because of the Christmas thing we had done. You were honored by the La Crosse School District here a couple of weeks ago, which I know really was kind of a different award for the Henderson Motorsports team.
Yeah, something we never expected, and we can't thank you enough, Dan, because if it wasn't for you, none of this would have happened. So
Well, kudos goes to you too, Dan. You got your spot in the limelight in that award as well.
Yeah, it's so much fun to be a part of the community like that with what I do and with TV and radio and hooking up with you guys 2 years ago. Now the challenge is we want to make this bigger and better this year. So we're going to have to sit down instead of 2 months before, just like working on the late model. We're not going to pull it out of the weeds a month before. We've got some planning to do.
Oh, yeah, man. How do you get any better than helicopter drones flying over us, videotaping,
And late models driving down Rose Street and La Crosse.
Police escort, blocking traffic. I don't know.
Ever flown a helicopter yourself?
No.
All right, we got something to work on.
All right.
Your garage.
Sounds great.
Rick Wilson's going to film the whole thing, the entire progress, the entire season.
Sounds great to me. Let's do it.
Matt Henderson, Henderson Motorsports. Say hi to your dad, John. Congratulations to the wife. You guys are going to have another baby here soon enough, and good luck in 2015.
Thank you guys for having me, and hopefully we'll see you in Victory Lane.
Number 33, always in the hunt, Matt Henderson. Always down there, ready to take your pictures, get your autographs. The Hot Shot cards always look fantastic. And Matt's going to be one of those to watch in that Quick Trip NASCAR Late Model Series this year. More to come next on KQEG TV's 7 Rivers Racing.
Get ready for the Thunder,
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modified,
600 mods.
pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder.
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
Over $400 in rebates available on select American Standard systems. Call Carey Heating and Air Conditioning today for a free estimate.
Welcome back, Settlers Racing. I'm Dan Dyker and KQEG TV. Thanks for Matt Henderson stopping by. We taped that earlier this year to find out what's in store for the Henderson Motorsports team this year and expect another big Christmas treat coming at the end of 2015 with myself and Henderson Motorsports. Let's go sling some dirt. To the Mississippi Thunder Speedway we go in Fountain City. Not a lot of rain up there last week like we had down in this region. They had to keep putting water on the track throughout the night, which made things very tacky, very sticky, and very fast. USRA Modifieds would start off with Brad Waits, the number 24, that sleek, kind of an interesting black color where you kind of lose him half the night through the turns. Started on the outside of the front row, never relinquished the lead as he ends up winning the feature event. Now, Jake Tim, less than 1 week following his high school graduation party, grabbed the heat race win and appeared to be closing the gap between his 49 and Waits' flat black 24 in the closing laps. But, of course, as you see, that didn't happen. Tim had to settle for second. Keith Foss, Josh Angst, and Jacob Lees ran on the top 5, and they had a nice spirited battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth. And Brad Waits back in the winner's circle. USRA B-Mods had another nice car count. We've been averaging between 25 and 35 this year. A little bit closer of a race this time. After grabbing a couple of top 10 feature finishes to start the 2015 season, Lucky John Van Minsel struggled with an ill-handling car that relegated him to 2 consecutive finishes outside the top 10. Van Minsel finally got things corrected, fending off some challenges by Flying Ryan Olson to grab his first feature win of the 2015 race season. Anderson, you saw right there, trying to give him a late race charge in turns 3 and 4, but he had to finish for second. Parker Hale, Jimmy Broside, your pole sitter, and Ty Creeley ended up topping the top 5, and that B-Mod all the way through the night. The heat races and everything was that close all the way through the night. Another job, nice job by all those B-Mod drivers. 600 mods came out again. They broke away for the Touring Series. They stayed at home at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. And, of course, top speeds, just about 88 mile per hour. And Kyle Jumbeck had a complete sweep. He won his the third heat race of the night, won the 18-lap feature, and he came from a 10th place starting spot. Jumbeck had his number 01 Kick-Ass Beef Jerky. I love that name. Had a 600 modified running in tip-top shape as he ran all over the racetrack. Had a tough time for a minute there getting past the canine of John Griffin. Griffin had to settle for second. Bob Szewski finished third. Second heat race winner Chris Gilbertson was fourth, and Greg Wolitz, former track champion, rounded out the top 5. On to one of my favorite classes at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, the USRA Superstocks, or the Wissota Superstocks, I should say. I love these styles of cars. I love the racing that they do, and you're going to see it again here. Who really likes this racing is Tommy Richards. He got by Kurt Myers. That's a tough task because Kurt Myers, anywhere he starts on that track on the 1M, he's always one who you say, well, he's got a solid chance to win a feature. Tommy Richards held him off to capture his 4th feature win of 2015. White flag fries right there, and Myers just didn't have enough grab on the outside as Richards stayed at the bottom and pictures up win number 4. Myers second, former track champ Jeff Brower, a very fine 3rd place finish. To the USRA late models we go. A new class this year keeps growing and growing and growing. Would expect to see over 20 next year. Race number 1 this year was won by that man, Ryan Conkle, and then it was domination time for Lance Hofer. Lance Hofer had 3 straight USRA late model wins. This time, Ryan Conkle opened it up because Kurt Luman, who is really coming around in this class this year, really put a challenge on for Lance Hofer, and that let Conkle let those two play while he opened up his race lead. Iowa's Troy Hansmeyer came in, finished 3rd. Troy Hovey and former feature winner Justin Sash rounded out the top 5. And again, this class, we had about 3 of them bow out during the race. Some guys still learning that racetrack and learning those divisions are going to be back out here in a couple of weeks. And again, Bob Tim from the racetrack expects to have between 20, 22, 23 next year as that fast class keeps on growing at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Jordan Becker grabbed both the heat race and the feature win, and that was his 2nd of the 2015 season. In the Sportsman, the MTS race, well, Johnny Sievertson won the Hornets again. That's his 4th feature win of the year. Tiana Mithun captured the A Mini-Mod division. You saw their replay last week on Knights of Thunder on KQEG TV. Cole Suka won the B Mini-Mod feature. The dirt track's off this weekend. They're going to celebrate Steamboat Days in Winona. We'll be back to dirt track racing in just a couple of weeks. As for the La Crosse Speedway, we're back in action this week, getting ready for a big show. Matter of fact, both tracks have big shows on the same night, July 3rd at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. It's the 7th annual River City Rumble. Big payouts all the way across the board for every division. And then that same night, La Crosse Speedway, Friday night, July 3rd, we've got Super Late models. The Tundra Super Lates are coming in. We've got the Great Northern Sportsman Series. We've got Thunder Stocks. We've got Outlaws. I think there's a 2nd over-the-line wins. And the Race in Total Darkness. And, of course, what the Speedway is claiming, the biggest fireworks show in Speedway history. Check out lacrossespeedway.com, MississippiThunderSpeedway.com, both tracks informations. Also remind you to look us up on Facebook. The 580 WKTY Race Report I have on Saturdays from 1 until 2 has got its own Facebook page, as does this show, 7 Rivers Racing. I want to thank everybody for joining us on the program. More to come next week. Stay with us. The best action in Western Wisconsin is found right here on KQEG TV.